Happy Independence Day to all, and as we celebrate the USA's birthday, it's also sad to hear of Andy Griffith's passing. May he rest in peace. Every time Joke Daddy watches an Andy Griffith Show episode, he tells me that the show and characters are amazing. Even though they're 50 years old or so, and he's seen all of them dozens of times, they still manage to make Joke Daddy laugh out loud. Now, he also always reminds me that he's talking about the pre-color black and white episodes that feature Barney and Gomer. Even though Andy never had a dog on the show, it got me thinking how cool it would have been to have been Andy Taylor's dog. It would have been fun living with Andy, Opie, and Aunt Bee, but I am just imagining the perks of small-town living in Mayberry. You know, back then, being the sheriff's dog and all, I bet I would have been able to run all over the town of Mayberry whenever I wanted to. You know I would have been safe. No one ever broke the speed limits there, and everybody would have known me. The only person I would have to avoid would be Barney Fife, the ever-vigilant deputy. Naturally, he would have a fit every time I ran loose, but he also had a real good heart, and no doubt would have just rubbed my head and belly and then let me go. My first morning stop would be the diner, where I'm quite sure that Juanita would have treated me to some breakfast scraps each day. Then I would have headed out of town a little bit to chase rabbits for my daily workout, and after tiring, it would be on to Wally's gas station, where Gomer would give me a bowl of water. He'd say, "Joe Puppy," Gomer says, "Hey." Shazam! You know, you sure are cute. Now, after my visit with Gomer to find out what he and Goober had been up to, it would be time for lunch. At the back door of the butcher shop, a little scratch at the door would be rewarded with scraps of meat and a bone. And then after my lunch, I would head next door to Floyd's barber shop, where the dazed and confused, but also very considerate Floyd would call me by a different name every day. I'd go lay in the corner by the fan and watch and listen to the various eccentric citizens of Mayberry come to get their hair cut or just share the town gossip with each other. Then on to the jail for a brief visit before going home. It would probably be my job to bark and bark and bark until I got Otis to wake up and go home. Once my daily duties and the pleasures were finished, I would head home to spend my evening with one of America's favorite families, Andy, Opie, and Aunt Bee. Have a safe holiday, everyone. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Things sure were a lot simpler back then, weren't they?